beat up my son-in-law, who was abusing the woman that I was living with. And I was arrested and convicted. I fought for my dignity, and then I lost it.
Oh! Because I've got to see.
And why do I live in my van? I live in my van because I don't have any place else to fucking live. I want a place. I want to move into a house, running water. I can brush my teeth. I can take a shit. I don't have to come into the Atlas Cafe and shit and shave. And they're intrigued by me, but I also think that they're kind of scared. And not scared for me, but what?
You have a pretty strong personality, whether you live in a van or not.
Yeah, maybe that could be it. You know? But I also think the fact that I live in a van makes them think that, you know.
You actually are nuts.
Yeah. Something like that.
But what's frightening is when, I think when the gunshots go off, when I hear gunshot nearby and I'm sleeping, I'm afraid. I find myself fearful frequently because I'm having to hide in here so that I won't be arrested. And sometimes I'm in isolated neighborhoods where if somebody knew I was in here or found out I was in here and they had bad intentions, I would be vulnerable to them.
So you feel vulnerable?
Yes, I worry about, you know, since nobody knows exactly where I am all the time, like people in homes have more connections to society than I do, so that if somebody were to hurt me, you know, or injure me, it would be harder for me nobody would know for a while. You know? Another thing that's real scary is when the police come and try to, they knock on the van, they come and they pound on the van. It's usually in the middle of the night, like 1 a.m. or 3 a.m., and so I'll be sleeping, and they'll come by and they'll pound on it really hard. They'll like pound it out with a stick or with their fist and yell out, "Open up, police, come out," and I always don't answer. So I lay in there, you know, and my heart will be pounding fast because even though I try to be real casual about it, they could have, you know, I don't like having to have an interaction with them.
I guess the man or the police would call it an underground community, but it ain't. It's just people taking care of people. You know, that's why I came to this town, man, because of that hippie dumb shit that's not here no more.
Right.
It's going to be another edition of Local Anesthetic.
And it broke my heart, man. I was here in '70, and it was cool. People were, you know, it was like smoke a joint with me, and I don't want your dollar. But now it's, I want your $2, and you can't have my joint.
What are those holes from?
Those are bullet holes from my stress of being here on these streets.
Okay.
There you go. That's the only way I had to let it. It was either that or a human, and I opted for the windshield.
Onions. They won't go bad on you, and when you make sandwiches, you take them out one at a time, and you just squeeze them, see, on the sandwich.
Right.
Canned foods, 50 cents. Now, it's more expensive than regular onions, but it'll last longer. These juices here, these are from SWAP. That's the Sheriff's Alternative Work Program. That's what you get when you get caught doing crime. And they give them to me. You could collect them, because nobody ever drinks them at the SWAP. So you collect them from the people after you get your SWAP. Crime. Crime does pay. Okay. Very important. Envelopes will stick together unless you get the self-adhesive type, because you get a lot of A lot of moisture in a van, in a vehicle. Also the stamps. All your stamps have got to be self-adhesive stamps. Otherwise they all stick together. You can have stamps, but they're no good if they're all stuck together.